healing practices may involve rituals and songs and the application of these plant medicines as medicines, very specifically. You can't dissociate the cathartic spiritual experience from the pharmacology. There are acute effects when you take the medicine. It's doing things in the brain that you may not be aware of, that are not even directly related to the effect.
In the last episode, I was really able to see what's going on inside my brain using EEG technology to see what's happening when we enter flow states. Flow states being very important for neuroplasticity. And that got me to think, well, okay, so if flow state can be measured with EEG in the brain, what other things can we do that it actually encourages neuroplasticity that we can also measure? And it immediately made me think of my friend Dennis McKenna. Dr. Dennis McKenna is a leading figure in psychedelic research, and over the years has become a dear friend.
I made it alive.
He invited me to his home in British Columbia to discuss how certain plant medicines can profoundly affect the mind when experienced in the right environment.
It's a real pleasure to have you here.
Creativity is deeply connected to states of consciousness, and psychedelics have been shown to unlock new perspectives by temporarily disrupting habitual thought patterns.
I spent a lot of time in the Caribbean when I was younger, lived on a sailboat, and I remember hiking the very small Caribbean island of Nevis, St. Kitts and Nevis.
Oh, yeah.
And to get to this little mountain that I wanted to hike up, I had to walk through a pasture. And sure enough, in the mounds of cow dung were a whole lot of mushrooms popping out. And I took them, and it was the most incredible trip. I just remember looking all around me with this overwhelming appreciation for the design of creation, let's call it, like how beautiful the trees were and vibrant, and how the clouds were just so, electric. And it was such a powerful experience that it sits with me today as somebody who always loved and appreciated nature. But I feel like I've been able to, through that experience, have a lifelong practice of caring for nature as a result.
It does indeed stimulate biophilia, a love for life and living things. It does that. I am fond of saying that one major thing, especially when you take psychedelics in nature, it brings the background forward. It lets you notice things going. You walk into the forest in a normal state of consciousness, whatever that is, and you appreciate it. There are things going on. It's lovely, it's restful. But there are a lot of things going on in that environment that our brains are genetically and evolutionarily programmed to filter out because they're not pertinent to our immediate survival.
Dennis and I have collaborated on several projects over the years, including a documentary that we produced in Peru about sacred plant medicine and the urgent need to preserve the Amazon rainforest. During that project, I met cinematographer Luis Solarat, who lives and works in Peru. When he heard about my quest to reclaim my creative flow, he invited me back to Peru to meet his friend. Luke Jensen is a neuroscience field researcher studying the effects of psychoactive plant medicines on brain function. Luke and his partner Cinzia offered to take me on a psychedelic brain mapping experience while climbing a mountain using the San Pedro cactus, also known as Huachuma. I think Cusco is about 3,400 meters, where Everest Base Camp is about 5,500. So we're really high. The altitude up in Cusco is incredibly high. So after spending 24 hours there, I had quite a headache. I had a little bit of coca tea, a bottle of oxygen, and that made me feel a lot better. But coming down into the Sacred Valley was one of the most beautiful drives, just descending such crazy altitude and seeing these mountains. And I just knew something special was down here. We're still very, very high right now. I come from sea level. I'm a sea level guy. So coming this far up is, I am breathing a little bit heavier. It's gonna be interesting tomorrow to see how I do on a big mountain hike. But we'll take it slow. Meeting Luke, and the very fact that he's willing to spend a day and a half with me and brain map me on this amazing journey, doing something I've never done before in my life, which is, taking some sips of Huachuma and going on this amazing mountain hike and seeing how my brain reacts.
We'll start first thing in the morning, and Huachuma is a cactus that grows in the Andes. It's similar to peyote, has mescaline in it, but has 14 other alkaloids too, I believe, or a number of different alkaloids. For the Quechua and the Andean culture, it's a very spiritual plant, and they call it the grandfather. So grandfather Huachuma will guide you through the mountains in this hike. Huachuma is more, how we do it and how we'll approach it tomorrow is be more external in the hike and challenging yourself. And brain map is, I look at it as a hologram for your whole system. So in your brain, we can see where trauma is stored in different ways. We can see where it's dysregulated. And tomorrow we'll take a during map, during the experience of Huachuma, and then we'll take a post map the day afterwards. So we want to see, like, how does your brain change? How does it become maybe more regulated?
Imaging that you're going to see.
Yeah.
Luke explained how he would map my brainwaves before the Huachuma journey, map it again at the apex of the psychedelic trip, and once again, the day after the experience to show me what was changing within my brain when I experienced psychedelics in the right set and setting.
We do this, we do 2 maps, one eye's closed, one eye's open. So I'm gonna put this brain cap on you. This is the standard 19-point brain cap.
Love it.
Over all your brain waves. All right, this is the gel. Might be a little cold. It's a blunt needle too, so don't worry.
It's going right into the brain.
Yeah. So go ahead and close your eyes. Feel like you're in an ocean, just being. Starting the first map now.
Luke started by doing what he calls an eyes closed brain map. When we close our eyes, our brainwaves drift towards alpha and theta, showing a more restful state with minimal inputs. This is important data for Luke as he captures my baseline brain state.
It looked like you were pretty calm. There was a whole lot of movement. Some people have twitches too. Next one's your eyes open map.
Okay.
So go ahead and look at a comfortable location in front of you. The biggest thing is we don't want your eyes moving back and forth.
Got it.
Artifact. You're starting now. So you just sink into the chair.
The next brain map was to be captured with my eyes opened. This is important because it reveals how well the brain's executive system responds to the external world.
So anyway, good job. That was really good data.
Nice.
We'll start processing it tonight, probably.
Oh man, that's cool. See you tomorrow, brother. All right, Brett. Have a good one. Before starting this journey, I did some research to learn more about Huachuma, also known as the San Pedro cactus. Its psychoactive effects come from mescaline, a naturally occurring psychedelic compound. While mescaline expands awareness, similar to LSD or psilocybin, it has a distinct character. It's less disassociative and often gentler.
We know from studying the pharmacology, it's connecting, it's changing synaptic connections, it's stimulating neurogenesis, it's upregulating and downregulating different factors, neurotransmitters, and so on. So there's a cascade of effects that extend beyond the actual session. You know, those may go on for weeks or months or even years. That's why the healing effects on things like depression or trauma are so long-lived. They undergo these effects and they remember it, they integrate it into their life and their worldview. So it's a long-term effect, long after the trip is over.
How you doing? Hi. I'm Greg.
Early the next morning, Luke and his team picked me up to take me to the base of the mountain where the Huachuma ceremony would begin. I felt an immediate sense of trust and love with this new group of people that would create the set and setting required for me to have a safe and fulfilling experience.
is the Waka. This is where we ask permission and set the intentions for the day before we go up to the pilgrimage of the mountain. So everything is sacred, and so we honor that. So just ask permission before you do it.
Pásenle, por favor.
And so the reason that we make the offerings to the Waka at the beginning of the ceremony, again to the mountain, to the heart of the mountain, one, because we're asking permission. We're asking for blessings, that we go with respect, and so we are guided and we are protected as well. And honoring everything that's around us. Everything's alive. It would be like going to someone's house and not saying thank you or asking permission to go in. It's the same idea. This is our home, but let's treat it with veneration and sacredness. Your heart.
Mis ancestros, mis abuelos siempre me enseñaron algo importante.
My ancestors and my grandparents
Sí.
always taught me something important.
Antes de hacer algo,
Before doing something,
es dar gracias primero.
first giving
Sí.
thanks.
Porque vamos a hacer algo que no hacemos todos los días.
We're going to do something that we don't do every
Sí.
day.
Es caminar con medicina.
To walk with medicine,
Es algo fuera de lo común,
something outside of the common,
¿sí? Andar con medicina.
going with medicine.
Porque la medicina puede abrir muchas cosas en nuestro cuerpo
The medicine can open so many things within your body.
para poder ir caminando, conectando,
To walk this path and to connect,
¿sí? Conectando con uno mismo,
connecting with yourself,
conectar con todo lo que nos rodea.
and connecting with everything around you.
Before my guide Alcides led us through opening prayers of gratitude, he asked me what my intentions were. I explained to him that I feel like I've lost my creative flame and that I want it back.
Esa llama nunca se apaga.
And that flame has never
Sí.
gone out.
Está encendida ahí dentro.
It's alive within you.
Pero solo nosotros le podemos poner la magnitud del fuego.
But only we
Sí.
can put that power back into that fire.
Y ese fuego es el amor.
And that fire is love.
Trabajen con vuestras intenciones, con amor.
And work on your
Sí.
intentions with love.
Con amor, no más peleando.
No longer fighting with it.
Eso es la importancia de darlo todo siempre.
And that's why it's important to give your all every time.
Dense a ustedes siempre todo.
And give yourselves everything.
No hagan por partes nada. No.
Don't do it in parts.
Todo o nada.
Give everything
Sí.
or nothing.
As I drank the liquid from the San Pedro cactus, I felt calm and ready for what was to be revealed to me. So much of my feeling of well-being at the beginning of this journey was because of the care of my guides and the prayers of gratitude that were offered on my behalf. Two hours into the hike up the mountain, the Huachuma had kicked in. As promised, it was a gentle high. I had an immense feeling of peace, gratitude, and love for the natural surroundings and the people around me. Alcides whistled and sang his Ikara, essentially praying for my journey through song. His songs vibrated deep within my body and my soul. It was time for my second dose as we were halfway up the mountain. The effects so far were gentle, with strong feelings of gratitude and vivid emotions of love for my family, my community, and the world.
Huachuma my personal journey with it, I feel what it does is help you reconnect to yourself in the most presentness, in the most simple way of who you are, and with all your faults and with all your virtues, you know, feeling that for yourself. And most importantly, being present for it, because oftentimes we're always trying to escape our present moment. We're thinking of the future or what happened in the past. And I think Huachuma lets you open your heart and realize that the most important part of wherever you are is in right now, that moment. Be here now.
Feel the heart beating right now.
Yes.
My guides led me to a woman's hut halfway up the mountain for our first significant rest.
Mama Rosa.
Buenas tardes.
Gracias.
Pasa, pasa.
Mama Rosa has lived here in the mountains for her whole life. She lives a simple life with minimal material goods, but an abundance of spirit and contentment.
Wow. My heart's beating in so many ways.
Chaypi, ¿no tenés tiempo de hermanitos? So, sí, ya voy a poner con mamá. Sí, esta es la boca, es dulce. Esta es la boca. No, acá.
Mama Rosa's fed us a meal of boiled potatoes and soup. At this moment, it was the finest meal I've ever experienced. The Huachuma was affecting me heavily as we rested and renourished. After we visited with Mama Rosa, we continued up the mountain. Everything was hard. My heart was beating incredibly fast, and the oxygen levels were low, with the elevation at over 3,500 meters. Every small step that I made felt like I was lifting 1,000 pounds. But my heart and spirit were light. And my perception of nature was so beautiful. I felt connected to a creation that I'm a part of. Creativity was all around me as I witnessed the clouds dancing, the trees bending, and the mountain faces shifting. The effects of the Huachuma were in full force. It was soon time to get wired up and map my brain during this peak experience. Alcides prepared me with one last blessing for me in my journey.
Limpiando, 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 mamita, mamita.
So what psychedelics can do is open you up to this wider sensorium, and you notice processes going on in nature. They are always going on, but we're programmed not to notice them. Where you have to train yourself or learn how to notice these things that are suppressed. There's a word for it in neuroscience. It's called neural gating. Neural gating is the brain's mechanism for filtering out most of what we perceive in order to put together this default mode network, which is another word for ordinary consciousness, where you can be functional.
The time had come to start the brain map.
So I'll have you hold this front and slip that over your forehead. This is a lot more challenging on Huachuma.
I can only imagine. You're doing great though.
Thank you.
For what it's worth.
The translating comes to me a lot easier than this right now.
So right now we're doing a in-field brain map. So we're doing on Huachuma. We took 2 doses. We're top of the mountain, so everything should be kicking in by now.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's very, very relaxed. It's just, I don't know, very connected. It's been a beautiful experience so far.
Well, we don't have a whole lot of brain maps during the acute experience, so this is always interesting for us. So go ahead and close your eyes, relax. Try to be as still as possible.
The visuals I was witnessing were incredible. I felt like nature was purposely giving me a show to make me feel happy. I was so grateful. The next morning, Luke and Cinzia conducted the final map to see how the Huachuma experience impacted my brain a day after the peak experience.
So yeah, right now, Cinzia's putting the gel in the cap. We're gonna put the ear clips on again, and we're gonna test the connections. It'll take a couple minutes, and yeah, we'll do your post map. It'll be interesting comparing it because we have 2 data sets already. This will be the 3rd. Let's see how it changes over time. So there's always like usually plasticity that happens in these states, and your brain's adapting and changing, and usually moving in a healthy direction for itself. It allows it to become more plastic, to decrease rigidity, and that's a sign of like neural health. So these plant medicines do that, and we track it with this brain mapping system. Yeah. Pretend like you're on a beach. Relax jaw, relax neck, relax forehead.
The brain map showed us some interesting results. Before the Huachuma session, my EEG showed high alpha, a marker of a busy mind and possible worry or stress. At the peak of the experience, though, the map revealed the reduction of my default mode, as indicated by the lower alpha waves observed. My sense of self was also reduced, making me feel more like one with the world. By the following day, those patterns settled and normalized, which lined up with my own feeling of calm and clarity.
I think people should just appreciate their consciousness, you know, and what it is to be conscious, what it is to be aware. It's truly a mystery. What is consciousness? That's the $64,000 question that neuroscience is trying to answer. Neuroscience and philosophy and religion and everybody else, you know.
Ask the sun, why leave the sky and leave us to this cold dark night? Said to me, I leave the sky so you'll appreciate my life.
The journey was deeply transformative for me. The safe and intentional space created by my guides allowed me to fully surrender to the experience and reconnect with a sense of creativity that I actually thought that I lost. Psychedelics are certainly not for everyone, and they aren't a magic bullet solution. But for me, this journey provided creative and spiritual healing, insight, and a renewed sense of purpose. Join me in the next episode as I continue to rewire my muse and explore meditation and the healing effects of sound and music.